Here's another one. We're going to try to identify and sketch the quadratic surface x squared plus 2y squared plus z squared minus 4x minus 4y minus 2z plus 3 equals 0. Well, golly, what would we do if we had something like this only without the z here, if we were in calculus 2 or even pre-calculus 2? Oh, I guess we'd get rid of this z also. We would complete the square. That would be the usual thing, and that's what we're going to do exactly. So put the x terms together, the y terms together, the z terms together, subtract 3 from both sides, complete this square by taking half of this and squaring it. We get x squared minus 4x plus 4, which is x minus 2 squared. Okay. Same thing, factor the 2 out of these two, and then we would have y squared plus 2y. We would have to add 1 to complete that square, but that is actually 1 times 2, so we're actually adding the 4 like we did with the first one, and then the 2 times the 1. And then to complete the square in the z, we just have to add a 1. And so what we get is something that looks like this. And you could say, well, the center is at the point x is 2, y is negative 1, and z is positive 1. And if we divided by 4, we could say x minus 2 squared over 4 plus y plus 1 squared over 2 and z minus 1 squared over 4 equals 1. This is an ellipsoid. If you think about it, if z was equal to 1, right, this would be an ellipse. If y was equal to negative 1, this would be an ellipse. If x was equal to 2, this would be an ellipse. So in all actually, if y equals negative 1, this one would be a circle because this number is the same. But a circle is just a special type of ellipse, so no big deal. This has to be an ellipsoid with the center at 2, negative 1, 1. And fatter on the x and the z directions than in the y direction because of the 2 under that, right, instead of a 4. The trace in the xz plane is a circle of radius square root of 8. See why that is? In the xz plane, that means y is negative 1. Actually, no, that's not true. In the xz plane, y would be equal to 0. So this would be 1 squared over 2. So this would be 1/2. If I subtracted a half from both sides, this would be a half. But then I could multiply both sides by 4. And so x minus 2 squared plus y I don't think what I'm saying is correct, because if I subtracted this a half, I'd get a half, and then multiplying by 4, that's not, the radius is not square root of 8, square root of 2. The center at x equals 2 and z equals 1. Oh, I found a mistake. So the trace in the yz plane, so that means x is 0. Well, if x is 0, then we got 1 here, so this and this would cancel out. So we just have this, it's called a degenerate circle, or it's just a point. The point x is 0, y is negative 1, z is positive 1. The trace in the xy plane, that means z is 0, so this makes this 1/4. So this plus this equals 3/4. And it's an ellipse with major axis square root of 3, centered at the point where x is 2, y is negative 1. So the x-intercepts are 3, 0, 0, and 1, 0, 0. How would I find the x-intercepts? I'd make y and z both 0, and that means this is a half, and this is a 1/4. So if we add these together, we get 3/4. Subtracting 3/4 from that 1, we get 1/4. So we get x minus 2 squared over 4 equals 1 over 4. So x minus 2 squared equals 1. And if you solve x minus 2 squared equals 1, you'd have x minus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 1. So x minus 2 equals plus or minus 1. Add 2 to both sides. X equals 2 plus 1. This one. X equals 2 minus 1. This one. The y-intercept, well, can there be a y-intercept? There could. if x and z could both be 0. Well, let's see, is that possible? Could we have y plus 1 squared over 2 equal to 2? Oh, where was I? I had to quiet my dog. Okay, the y-intercept is none because for the y-intercept x would be 0. That means this would be 1. Subtract it from both sides. Well, and a z would also be 0, so we subtract this from both sides. Y plus 1 squared over 2 equals negative a fourth. That's the problem. There cannot be a y-intercept because we get an imaginary number. Z-intercept, probably the same problem. If x is 0, then the 1's are gone. If y is 0, then that's 1/2, so this would be negative a half. See? Impossible. So no z-intercept. So you should be able to finish the sketch, and there is a picture of this one in the text. I don't know if this page is accurate, but you might need to look it up.